This is Not Just a podcast where we get to know the person behind the job title. I'm your host, Amanda, and today we'll be speaking to Jason Waterhouse, who is a professional sailor. We chat about his encounters with pirates, his time in the Olympics, and how he manages injuries in the sport. But more importantly, we speak about who he is outside of work. Let's get into it. Jason, welcome to the podcast. Thank you so much for joining us on the couch.
So excited. Thanks for having me.
So excited to have you here. You are a professional sailor, and I have many questions for you that we will definitely get into it. But my first question for you is, what were you doing and what was driving you before you became a professional sailor?
Yeah, well, I had like a bit of a unique childhood in the sense that my parents are both very successful sailors, not professional, but just love the sport. And due to that, I was born and bred in the Northern Beaches here in Sydney.
Yeah.
And I guess I had a unique bringing up in some ways that we bought a yacht and went sailing around the world. So I spent 4 years of my childhood growing up on a yacht, exploring the world.
So cool.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah.
And I suppose those 4 years was a really cool way to, one, see the world, but two, form really strong family bonds between my parents and my sister and myself.
Yeah.
And I guess that love for the ocean and then sailing turned into the love of the sport.
Yes.
So that sort of evolution is what sort of got me to my profession today, I suppose.
Awesome. And when did you start competing in sailing?
My first competition was with my sister on Pittwater on Manly Junior when I was about 8 years old.
Yeah.
And I hated it. I just wanted to get off the boat, was crying. It just was probably a little bit scary for me in some ways. But that was D-Day 1, I suppose, of getting into to racing.
How old were you?
8 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you then eventually went did another race.
And then eventually once I got more comfortable, and I suppose the really competitive side of competing internationally was when I was 14 years old.
Yeah,
I qualified for to represent Australia in the UK.
Yeah, wow.
And that was sort of my first taste of, wow, this is addictive for me.
Yes.
You know, competing at the highest level on the international stage and meeting all these cool international people.
Yeah, awesome.
Was like, wow, I want more of this.
Yes.
And that was kind of I lit the candle to go after it.
So good. Were you nervous? Like being 14 years old and then competing?
Yeah, I guess not so much until the final race, and we completely choked.
Oh no!
Went from a silver medal to off the podium in the last race, but that was kind of the first feeling of pressure.
Yeah.
Which was really cool to have at a young age. Because I feel like the more times you expose yourself to that environment, the more you learn how best to manage it.
Yes, true.
But yeah, that was cool. And then I did another 3 years of that same competition in Canada, Denmark, and then we won the gold medal in Brazil.
Amazing.
On the 4th attempt.
So good. And then were you still obviously doing school throughout this time? Like how did you juggle school and sailing professionally?
It was tough for myself, but I was not much of a school person, I'd say.
Yeah.
Before I went cruising overseas on the yacht, I was I'd say I was actually quite good at school, top sort of 3 in the class, looking to go to a selective school. And then when my parents made a decision to go sailing around the world and were doing remote schooling, it definitely hindered my performance in education.
Yeah.
But then when I came home, I just had no interest. I'd been exposed to so much of the world and such an amazing lifestyle that I could not sit at a desk.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah. But my sister did really well. She was, I think, a little more, she's 4 years older than me. She was more mature and managed to get into university and have a degree and a really successful career here.
Yeah.
Whereas for me, it sort of was like, why am I doing this to myself?
Yeah. Well, you'd found your passion, right?
Exactly.
And what you wanted to do.
I found my passion. And but that's not to say you can't do both. My crew, Lisa Dunn-Mannon, she ended up with a 98 plus 4 points ATAR. She could have done anything.
Yeah,
so
wow.
she's highly intelligent. She could juggle both, whereas I was like, I just want to focus on this.
Yeah. Love it. Well, it's paid off.
Luckily. And it doesn't for everyone. But I think that I was lucky enough to have the support from my parents and then that maturity to realize, okay, well, if you're going to put all your eggs in one basket here, make sure you deliver and give it a good go.
Yeah, definitely. I want to go back to is it called ocean sailing?
I suppose so. We call it, actually, in our sort of industry or terms, it'll be known as cruising. Because you just go cruising around the world.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just think of cruising as in a big, huge cruise that you do with 300.
I guess it kind of is, but you're by yourself. We're just cruising on a yacht around the world because the lifestyle's so, just the wind pushing you along.
Yes.
Going to remote atolls in the Pacific and on around.
And was that scary? And did you see pirates?
I wouldn't say it is. It's more adventure.
Okay.
And adventure has risks, I suppose.
Okay.
Well, no matter what you do. And it wasn't scary until you had sort of situations. So like you mentioned, we had a pirate encounter off Colombia in 2003. It's really testing the memory.
Yeah.
And that was scary. And we didn't mean to put ourselves in that situation. We were sailing from Panama to the Galapagos Islands.
Oh, yeah.
And we had a situation where the boat was essentially sinking for a moment and we had to divert to Ecuador. But to get to Ecuador, we had to go around Colombia, which we knew was dangerous.
Right.
So it wasn't deliberate. It was sort of our necessity.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a counter there where we actually ended up having collision with the pirate boat luckily in the middle of the night. So when you're sailing, you have to run navigational lights on, and that's how they tracked us.
Right. Okay.
We had the situation, which was very scary, and Mum and Dad did a great job to sort of manage to deflect off the boat where they couldn't board us, and then we just shut off all the running lights and sort of disappeared into the darkness.
Yeah. Oh my God, that would be terrifying.
It was scary.
Yeah.
As you can imagine, but a lot's changed since then. Colombia's a lot safer, for example, and you have we have better communication and navigational tools. So I wouldn't let that deter anyone from doing what we do now, I guess. Yeah. But we had a hurricane encounter off San Diego as well, which was scary for everyone.
What do you do there? I've always wondered because there's I see so many people, there's a lot of solo sailors that do those cruises around the world.
Yep.
And I always wonder, I think it would be very scary to run into pirates, but I think it would also be equally very scary to encounter a hurricane or a really bad storm. And what do you do? Do you have to just bunker down?
Essentially, yeah. I mean, you do your best to navigate your way around it, and you can set up your boat, reduce sail and run at certain angles to sort of run away from the storm.
Okay.
But in other situations, you literally do what you said, you just drop everything and go downstairs and just hope for the best.
Oh my gosh.
So
do the boats, this is getting really technical now, but I'm just so curious. Do the boats, when you bunker down, do they seal off so that if what if a wave comes?
Yeah, well, the boats, they can capsize.
Yeah.
And that does happen a lot where you get hit by a wave and it knocks the boat down, and even in really bad situations can make you roll.
Yeah, okay.
And it's when most of the time you can seal yourself in where if it did roll, the boat with using its keel will self-right itself.
Okay.
But then there's obviously if you have an older boat and maybe the damage of the turn tears a hole in it and whatnot, or you lose your rudder in there.
Yeah.
So every situation's different, and you just have to try to be as smart and think ahead as much as you can. But like I was saying, now with technology, weather forecasting is so good now that you can really make sure you don't get yourself in those situations.
Yeah. Wow. Oh my God, I have so many other questions, but I feel like I've got these proper questions to ask you. Okay, so Jason, who are you when nobody's watching? Tell us about the version of yourself that exists completely outside of work.
Yeah, so I'd say I'm a bit of a chiller.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I'm super high energy person. Probably a bit from the cruising sort of hangover of, I like to, whenever I can get out of the cities or even the suburbs, I like to try get away and switch everything off and get a bit back to, nature in some ways, go up the coast to go surfing or
nice.
To the highlands, inland, or go to New Zealand and go into the mountains a bit.
Yeah.
So I guess that personality is who I am, quite relaxed and easygoing guy.
Yeah, nice. And so you're very sporty. So you do more than one sport, surfing, skiing?
I would usually do snowboarding, but
Okay.
because of the injury risks involved, I'm actually not allowed to do, I'd say, other action sports generally because the risk of getting an injury and then the team, obviously.
Yes, true.
Yeah.
And how many people are on your team?
So right now my SailGP team, which is what I'm doing at the moment, is 6 people on board.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you all have different jobs.
Mm-hmm.
I've watched the Sydney to Hobart race quite a bit. I really love that.
Yeah.
It always is so high energy and fast paced and everybody's like running around doing their things.
Yep.
Do you change roles or is it when you're on the boat you have that one set role and that's it when you're sailing?
Generally, it's you have that one set role.
Yeah.
And that's sort of in my role on SailGP, I'm the flight controller.
Okay.
And that's everyone's role on board is very strict and that's your role.
Okay. And what's flight controller?
So I control all the boats that we race are hydrofoiling catamarans.
Mm-hmm.
So they actually, when you're watching the Sydney Hobart, for example, on yachts, they're sailing through the water, whereas I sail on boats that lift out of the water on hydrofoils and go about up to 100 kilometres an hour, where your Sydney Hobart boats might go 20 to 30 kilometres an hour.
Yeah, okay.
And my job is to control those hydrofoils under the water to lift the boat out.
Yeah.
And then balance the boat.
That is
so that's my
cool.
job. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's actually very particular to that sort of high performance sailing.
Yeah, okay.
There's not much in terms of how you would upskill or train to become that role. It's very difficult because there's not much out there except for the top end of the sport.
Yeah, okay. And have you always done the catamaran boats or have you done like the Sydney to Hobart sailboats as well?
I've done the Sydney to Hobart too.
Oh, you've done the race?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And I'll be doing it probably again this year.
That's awesome.
And this weekend I'll be doing some offshore racing to Tollgate, Bateman's Bay and back.
Yeah.
And then I do, but mostly I'd say I'm a mostly catamaran sailor kind of guy.
Yeah, okay.
So my Olympics the 2 Olympics I did was in catamarans.
Yeah.
And then the SailGPs in catamarans. The America's Cup is monohull, but it's hydrofoiling monohull, so similar to the SailGP that I'm doing.
Okay. And who did you race with for Sydney to Hobart?
URM.
Okay.
Yeah, 72. Yeah. So hopefully we can win it this year.
Yeah, amazing. And like it's roughly about 3 or 4 days, right? The Sydney to Hobart, pending on the wind, I guess.
Yeah.
How good.
Yeah.
And what was it like competing at the Olympics?
Oh, amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've loved it. It was a really big contrast, I would say, the Olympics from Rio to Tokyo, just with the COVID implications. So Rio, as you can imagine, Latin America, high energy, like having your family there, big crowds, was awesome. And then going to Tokyo where it was COVID restrictions, no crowds, family couldn't come, every athlete in lockdown.
Yeah, wow.
Really different.
Yeah.
Which is really sad doesn't bother me much at all because I'm just so happy I was so happy just that they were still going ahead.
Yes.
But I was really sad for the Japanese people who had invested so much and couldn't showcase their country and enjoy it.
Yes.
So that was a bit sad in that sense for them. But either way, still amazing to run the flag at the Olympics.
Yeah, awesome. And did you do Paris?
No, okay. I was campaigning towards Paris and then I got an opportunity to do the America's Cup in Barcelona.
Okay, awesome.
And I had to make the choice between continuing with the Olympics or sort of moving on in my professional career.
Yeah.
And at the time I was having my daughter she was I think 3 months old when we found out or I was given the opportunity. And it was a real crossroads with the decision, which was probably the toughest professional decision I've ever had to make. But no regrets.
Yeah. Fair. What's been your favourite race that you've competed at?
Oh man, favourite race. Maybe the Rio Olympic medal race was really fun. But I mean, SailGP, which is what I'm really invested in now, we've won 3 championships. We did 3 championships back to back, and they were all in San Francisco, which was fun.
So good.
And, because San Francisco is, it's wild. It's like really windy, hard sailing, which is what I think Australians in general, because we enjoy the wind here, love.
Yeah.
And to win the championships there was really cool.
Is San Fran the place where, like, if you are a professional sailor, is that where you want to win?
Yeah, it's a bit of a mecca.
Okay,
I'd say,
yeah.
because it's so challenging.
Yes.
It's windy. There's heaps of current. You've got that
Yeah.
nasty fog that rolls in over the city.
Yeah.
It's like the Wild West of sailing.
Yeah,
So to win,
okay.
to deliver a result, but also a good performance
Yeah.
is really hard. And I'm really proud that we managed to do that.
Yeah. Well done.
Yeah, thanks.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen San Fran on the telly when I've occasionally watched the sailing, and I'm like, I wonder if that is the mecca of where.
It's definitely one of them for sure.
Yeah, amazing. And outside of like professional sailing, where has been one of your favorite spots that you've sailed in the world?
Oh man. Well, outside of professional sailing, when I was cruising, like the Pacific Islands, like the French Polynesia area is the nicest, and not like Tahiti or Moorea or Bora Bora. Those are a bit too, I wouldn't say touristy, but like known. We really love the atolls, which were maybe a couple 100 miles away.
Okay.
Where there's no one there. Like no, you can't get there by any. You got to sail there if you want to go.
Yeah.
Those are the coolest places because just untouched.
Yeah. Wow.
And the environment's just amazing. Like all the fish and animals, and even the land, the palm trees, and the seclusion is just, it's really humbling in a way. Like you're so isolated, but it's so enjoyable.
Yeah, beautiful. I'm going to be Googling that after we finish this.
Yeah, nice.
So what's something you're deeply passionate about that would surprise people who only know you professionally?
Oh. I probably touched on it a little bit before, but it's the environment's really important to me, but probably my most important thing to me is my family.
Yeah.
So that switch from being, a husband to my wife to then also a father has been a really big switch. And I'm invested and obviously very passionate about it, but I never thought it would impact me the way it has.
Yeah.
And also, like I was saying, growing up in such a tight-knit family with the cruising, it's made me want to recreate that for my little family.
Yeah.
So that's something.
Is there a cruise on the horizon with the fam?
For sure. But I think I really, I never really appreciated how brave my parents were to take me, a 4-year-old, on a boat in the middle of nowhere.
Yes.
That was really brave. It took a lot of courage. And now being in a similar situation where I have a daughter, I want to have that same bravery, but I'm worried for her.
Yeah.
And I think to myself, how can I go 2 weeks away from any land?
Yes.
And then something happen, I never forgive myself. But you have to have that courage to do that. So I'm still trying to find it. I'm not sure if it will come, and I really hope it does come.
Yeah.
Because I want to give her the same experiences that I have that touched me.
Yeah.
But I'm working on it. I'm a bit of a helicopter parent.
Is your wife a sailor as well?
No, she's not at all.
Okay.
She's not at all, but we're similar in the sense that she loves to explore and have adventure.
Yeah. Nice.
And she's up for it. She's probably more up for it than I am.
So good. All right.
Yeah.
Well, we might see that on your Instagram soon.
I hope so. I really do hope so one day.
Yeah. Jason, if you could be known for something completely different than what you're known for now, what would it be?
It's probably a little bit attached to the family, but I have a really tight group of friends, and I really try to be as positive as I can.
Yeah.
My dad's a really positive guy.
Yeah.
A real go-getter, and I try to bring that to all my encounters with people. You know, whether it be someone working in a cashier or a good mate of mine, I really try to, if I can, think to myself, how can I make their day better?
Yeah.
Like have
nice.
Have a conversation. How are you going? Have a laugh if I can with my friends.
Yeah.
I mean, they might think I'm super silly, but that's okay, because if they've got a smile on their face and walk away, I try to have that impact.
Yeah.
And some days it's not easy to always do that, because some days you don't feel as high as you might, but I do try to have that impact wherever I go around the world. Like I've hit, I think, 18, maybe 20 cities this year.
Yeah, wow.
So it's busy.
Yeah.
But wherever I go, I think, how can I make that person's day a bit nicer, or my mates might be having, going through stuff with family at home. It's not easy being on the road.
Yeah.
And making sure they're okay.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask that because you obviously would travel a lot throughout the year. So how do you juggle that? Like, are you home? How many weeks of the year would you be home in Australia?
Well, we run with SailGP, we have 12 or maybe it's 13 events a year, which are about a week long. So that's 3 months on the road, which is okay, because in the Olympic campaigning, you're doing 6 to 8 months on the road. But it's the flying's the hardest part with it all, the jet lag and whatnot. Because even when you come home, it's 3 days minimum, 4 days to recover.
Yes.
And then my poor wife, she's been at home with the bub by herself, and she's hands off the baby like, I've just done a week by myself. Your turn, Dad, and you're just like, what time zone am I on?
Yeah.
But like I said, it's such a privilege. Like these are such little small world problems, right?
Yeah,
like,
fair.
But that would be probably the challenging part.
So how often do you train? What's the training schedule like?
So training is quite unique. So with the, if any of your listeners follow the Formula One, they cap the training to keep the budgets down.
Okay.
And that's exactly the same with SailGP. So the two formats between Formula One and SailGP are almost exactly the same.
Yeah, wow.
A traveling circuit, 12 events a year.
Yeah.
And you land. So for example, I fly out from Sydney the Wednesday. I'd land the Thursday. We have a training day. So like an FP1 practice and F1 on the Friday.
Yep. And
then Saturday, Sunday racing.
Yeah, right.
I'm on a plane Sunday night or Monday morning.
Yeah, wow. Okay.
So the training itself on those boats is really limited to control budget caps.
Yeah, okay.
But so what do you do how do you improve?
Yes.
And then so I might do some small boat sailing.
Yeah. Like
for example, the Sydney to Hobart and stuff, I don't necessarily do that because it's to help with the bank account. It's more to keep upskilling and keep on the water and keep learning and whatnot. So, but then a lot of that is like in between is like the physical stuff. And also, so I'm in the gym 6 days a week if I can.
Yeah.
We like controlling body weight because we have to weigh in for racing as well.
Okay. So literally like Formula One.
It's Formula.
I only know this because I've obviously watched the show on Netflix.
Drive to Survive.
Drive to Survive, yes.
Well, it's essentially it's very similar. Just one's on water and one's driving around the track. But the two, so cool. I think that's what SailGP's done well is they've obviously seen what models work and they've adopted that sort of model of a traveling circuit. The difference I would say with SailGP to Formula One is all the boats are exactly the same.
Yeah, okay.
So, Formula One, you see, McLaren's out ahead. No one's going to catch them. Everyone thinks they're going to win on the weekend, which they do.
Yeah.
A bit boring in my opinion. Whereas in SailGP, every boat's the same. So it comes down to the driver or the sailors and their skills. So we've had, I think the last 3 events, we've had 3 different winners.
Yeah, okay.
Which is cool. We had
That's awesome.
GBI just won. Germany won the week before, and then France the one before that.
Yeah, nice.
Which is cool. Like it keeps it interesting.
Agree. Maybe Netflix need to do a series on
the down low.
GP.
Probably coming soon.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I don't know if it's Netflix, but some sort of streaming service. Yeah. Perhaps,
okay, we got the inside scoop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, now that we know more about who you really are, what's a lesson you've learned outside of work that actually made you better at your job?
I think one of the really interesting things with our sport is how critical communication is. And I really think I'd say that's one of my strengths. I have a lot of weaknesses, but I'd say that's one of my strengths in working with a team and being collaborative. And that's something I just sort of grew up with. Beforehand when I was doing like amateur sailing. One of my first coaches, his name's Trax Gordon and lives in Sydney as well. He was a big fan of putting older heads on young bodies, like trying to get us to mature earlier outside of sailing to then bring into the sport. Yeah. So and then with that, comes communication, reducing emotional levels. Yes. And that's been something that I've really enjoyed bringing into the sport. Yeah. And I feel like, as I was saying, is one of my strengths. And especially like I've represented Austria, New Zealand, Switzerland, Japan. So when you go into these multicultural teams, having that really clear, precise communication has been like really important. Yeah. Sure. and it's not necessarily the words I'm saying, like I don't speak that well, but it's the dialogue of our sport and the way that we collaborate and promote ideas and growth, I'd say has been the most fun for me.
Yeah. And also I'm assuming as well to build relationships
Exactly.
in the sport, and then obviously with your teammates. And then if you're going to, work with New Zealand and Austria teams, like to be able to build those relationships. And I would imagine that you'd have to build them quite quickly.
Really quickly.
Yeah.
Especially so like a lot of these teams I get brought in as a consultant.
Yeah.
And you walk into a room of people you've never met before, who are totally different cultures. And then one, you have to learn their personalities. How do I talk to them? And then, well, how do I collaborate with them well? And then from my experience is building that relationship into trust is the first step.
Yeah.
And then you can collaborate and then they'll take in the information.
Yes.
So, and I think that's kind of one of my skills that I've bought a bit from my dad because he's such a positive guy.
Yeah.
And he's a salesman.
Yeah.
So, and he's enthusiastic. Anything you can talk to him about anything, about his carpet, and he'd just waffle on about it.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not as high energy as him, but I would say that has helped me bring that into the sport. Yeah. Has helped me get to where I am because I don't have the talent that a lot of these other guys do.
Well, I'm sure you're very talented. You've won medals.
Maybe, but I think having that that skill of being able to build relationships and collaborate and work together has definitely been one of the keys. Yeah, definitely. Well, I think like a lot of great businessmen always say, building relationships is the key to success. So it's in sport as well. It's not just in the boardroom. It's definitely throughout all aspects of life. I can imagine. Yeah, I can imagine that being really important everywhere. To get results. Yeah, absolutely. So how do these other sides of yourself show up in your work as a professional sailor, even if people don't realize it? Well, I kind of guess that's what we just spoke about in a way. You know what I mean? Like it's, that building that fundamental trust. And one thing I would say that's actually quite interesting is I went to the Olympics with my cousin Lisa Darmanin. We competed in the first mixed gender sailing event ever. And we just coincidentally had been sailing together previously as amateurs. Yeah. And then when it went professional, we kind of made that jump because we were already a team. Yeah. But one thing I did learn from not necessarily sailing from her, but collaborating with her was how different it was communicating with the opposite gender. Yeah. And that was really surprising because then when I would move to male-dominated other teams, they were male-dominated, I thought those skills of talking to Lisa and how we talked was actually a lot better approached into the way I spoke to a male-dominated team. Yeah. It was just really different. And I have to thank Lisa for that. Yeah. And it's just a different way of doing it. Yeah. How is it different? Is there an example? There's a really good saying. I'll see if I can remember it. Lisa would have to feel good to go good. Yeah. And guys have to go good to feel good. And that's kind of what I mean by results and the way you speak about them. So Lisa, for example, we had to make sure that the way I communicated and collaborated with her, that she was in a really good and happy frame of mind. And then the results she was amazing. She performed so well. Yeah. Whereas guys, that was not important. Okay. The result was important. Yeah. And then you get the emotional benefits afterwards. Interesting. It's really different. Yeah. And do you think that that's happened when you've collaborated with other female sailors throughout your career? Yeah. So I sail Natasha Bryant now on the SailGP and it's very similar. Yeah. I would say she's a little different to working with Lisa. Yeah. But I'd still say it's the same. If you don't give them the confidence before you hit the water, you're not going to get the results. Yeah. And but it's been really but that's taught me a lot. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't say it's like I figured them out. They helped me figure it out. Yeah. Okay. And that was really important. That was a real light bulb moment. Yeah. That's helped me work with Lisa and Natasha. Yes. But in reality, having that approach with the guys has been even more beneficial.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It was really interesting because I sailed with Lisa for 15 years.
Yeah. Wow.
So
well, it's obviously working.
Yeah.
Yeah. How good. Can you share a story from your work that perfectly captures how being fully yourself, not just the professional version, has made you successful?
I'd say being with all these other sport teams, one thing I found with working with the Australian team in the SailGP and why we've been so successful is Australia's has this really good hand-up culture, which I took for granted until I started working with these other nations.
Yeah, okay.
And it was having that self-confidence and being comfortable with showing that vulnerability to say that was my fault and put your hand up so you can work the problem quicker and move on. Whereas with other sporting teams and other nations, and maybe it's these personalities of sports people, I don't know, not to paint everyone with the same brush, but they would feel they didn't want to look silly or stupid by putting their hand up and saying, I made a mistake.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And there's one example where I felt like that really helped save almost the season for us was we went into the finale into San Francisco.
Yeah.
And on the training, and the conditions are hard, but on the training day, I sucked. I was just doing a terrible job, like crashing the boat, and I lost a lot of confidence. And it was a day before the regatta, and my teammates and I were at a diner, sort of debriefing the day. And I just sort of had that vulnerability and where I said, guys, I feel like I'm playing defense, meaning like I feel like I'm behind the pattern all the time. I'm always waiting for the situation to come to me and then I'm making the mistake and not being proactive enough. And they were really good with, and I think just showing that vulnerability and having that conversation, let them come into my world a little bit and help me work the problem.
Yeah.
And then to then give me that confidence that I knew they had my backs to solve the problem, as opposed to feel like I keep making a mistake, I'm going to let you guys down.
Yeah.
They came in and saying, it's all good, mate. What can we do to help?
Yes.
And then the next day we just hit that ground running and I was playing offense again.
Yeah.
And that was like, I think, and that was all backed from building those relationships that I was talking about and that trust within the team to say, hands up here, guys, I need help.
Yes.
I'm struggling.
Yeah.
And if we hadn't been together for as many years as we had, that would have been tough.
Yeah. It's like creating that circle of safety, which I know Simon Sinek talks about quite a bit, which is just really interesting and so true, like how we all need that circle of safety to be able to just put our hand up and say that.
Yeah.
But it's so interesting that I feel like we're wired as humans, especially in the workplace, that we can't do that. It's like you're feeling that you're going to fail. Yeah. And saying, hey, I'm not really sure about this, or I don't think I'm having a great day. It's really hard to do that a lot of the time.
I think especially in a big organization. Yeah. So like at this sports team I'm in now, where I had that incident, we're a group of 6 sailors within a team of 15. Whereas previously, when I was living in Barcelona and working for Alinghi Red Bull Racing, we had a team of like 200 to 400.
Yeah, wow.
And that's where I really saw that trust and that relationships were harder to mold.
Yeah.
And you're not dealing with just a group of 5 where you can put your hand up. Yeah. I mean, there's situations where you can, but if there's a problem that maybe affects the wider team, it's really hard. It was really hard to try to solve those problems together.
Yeah, for sure. What would people be most surprised to learn about what your job really involves day to day?
Probably the like I was saying, the flying's probably the toughest part. That's not really captured. Like people just see you on the TV, you race for 20 minutes and then you're gone. And then I think I've been in the air for 6 days this month, literally in the plane.
That is wild.
Yeah, which was crazy. So like, that's something that's sort of behind the scenes. That's tricky, and the strategies you have to navigate to try and get the best out of yourself, knowing that you're compromised with jet lag, sleep, nutrition. Yes, those are all tough to manage. Yeah. The other one I would say is like the injury prevention management. Like I've had injuries as long as I can remember, from 14 years old, and And as you get older, as you can probably imagine, it's not getting easier. It's only getting harder to keep in one piece.
Yeah.
So a lot of time is spent trying to manage that. But then the psychological impacts of injuries, if anyone, any good athletes who are at the top of their game who have an injury, my heart goes to them because it's the worst feeling in the world, knowing that your potential's here and your body can't quite keep up. And all you can do is try to manage that day to day. So like I was saying, 6 days a week, I'll be in a gym. Yeah. I'm not deadlifting and doing bench presses, which obviously shows because like I'm a skinny 6 foot guy. But what I'm trying to do is keep my back mobilized, like rehab joints, like fix like ankle tendons, like my wrists at the moment are, there's, I can name probably 6 issues I'm trying to manage at once right now.
Yeah, okay. Do you do physio as well?
Yeah.
Yeah,
all the time. So, I mean, the Olympics was really bad. I'll be on a physio table 4 or 5 days a week.
My gosh.
And that was really hard to manage.
Yeah.
Like really hard. But ever since moving to SailGP in the America's Cup, where it's been easier.
Yeah.
Because it's not, in my role anyway, it's not as you're not asking as much as your body as you used to with the Olympic stuff, but it's still tough.
Yeah, for sure. So much training and so many things are involved that people would have no idea about.
Yeah, and I'm still learning. Yeah. I mean, I'm still learning what my body wants. You know, when you're younger and you have injuries, you don't, well, just speaking for myself here, but I didn't know how to manage certain things, you know, and when you're young, you're so go-getter, like nothing will stop you. Yeah. But then it's after a few years, you start to realize that you burn a candle at both ends sometimes.
Yeah, true.
But, to make those steps quickly, it comes at a price.
Yeah.
And you see that with a lot of professional athletes, whether it's football or surfing.
Yes.
Like John Florence is a really good example. He's won 2 world championships, and the guy, he probably should have 6 world championships, but his body just can't keep up with his skills. And
it would be so frustrating.
Yeah. It is frustrating. Yeah. And then the anxiety that ends up coming around it, that you don't want to re-injure yourself, is something I could never have prepared myself for. Yeah. It's just something that's not in a book. Yes. No one tells you about it. But when you go through an injury and you get back going again, the fear of relapsing was something that was probably the most challenging psychological thing I've ever been a part of.
Yeah, oh my gosh. So what do you feel like you need to do when that happens? Like, how do you change your mindset? Or not change your mindset, but like, what mindset do you have to go into when you have an injury and you're out for like a couple of months?
It's you just try to take it with a positive mindset as you would. Yeah. You have really good people around you who will support you. It's like my wife is like obviously my closest partner in that, to bounce things off and to assist me. But it's I found it, I didn't find the injuries themselves the hardest part. I found getting back and going and trusting you're fixed. That was the hardest part for me, which is strange because you're better, but then you're already worrying about not being better. Yes. And that took using a psychologist through like the Institute of Sport and stuff to help you through that. That was really helpful. And your physio becomes a huge part of your circle there. Yeah. So you have to find a really good one that you trust the process and then their advice, and they become a therapist really. Yeah. When you're on the table and you're in agony. And I had a really great one, Ashley Wolf. She lives here in Sydney as well, and she was doing a lot of the aerial skiers who have huge crashes, as you can imagine. Yeah. And she really almost saved my career. To be honest.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's shout out to her.
Yep, shout out to her. But that just shows what people probably don't see.
Yeah, true.
They see you on TV racing at the Olympics. They see you on the podiums. They see the Instagram posts. And they don't see the 95% of the other stuff.
Yeah. Well, talking about things that we don't see, this brings me to my last question, which is, what is your hidden talent?
Hidden talent. I like to do a lot of other things outside sailing. The problem is, like golf, surfing, it's kite surfing, you can, futsal, and you can name it.
Yeah.
But the problem is I wouldn't call it talent because I suck at them all.
All right, what's your party trick?
Well, I would say something that's hidden that gives me an advantage would be my arm span.
Okay.
What
does this mean?
So in general, your arm span should be your height.
Okay.
But my arms are like 30% longer than my height.
Wow.
So it gives me like the upper hand when I'm trying to reach for things like out of the coffee cabinet or...
Was that a pun as well that you just did?
but or even on the boat it's just something that's really weird. So like I'm a bit of a knuckle dragger when I walk. My arms are so long.
Oh my gosh, okay.
Yeah. So it's not a trick, but it's just something about me that not many people know.
Okay.
My arms are really long.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
And it's obviously, boded well for you because...
Yeah, well, it actually does have benefits.
Yeah.
But...
In sport, yeah.
In sport, yeah. Not cosmetically. It looks a bit strange, but yeah.
Do you do basketball?
No, but I should have.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or swimming.
Oh, yeah, swimming.
If I picked up on it earlier, it would have been good.
Well, that's fine.
Wasted the potential.
No, never wasted. With all of your medals, it's definitely not wasted.
Yeah, no, it was pretty funny though.
Well, Jason, thank you so much for joining us on the couch, and it's been a pleasure chatting.
Thanks very much. It's been awesome.
Thanks. Hey guys, I'm Amanda, the host of Not Just A. This is a brand new podcast, so hit that like button, subscribe. Feel free to share it with a friend. If you're loving the content, please feel free to drop us a comment. We'd love to know who you'd want to hear from in the Australian business scene behind the job title. Let us know.